Hello and welcome. This is Bill, Just Knots Custom Cord. Decided to do a little video to try to help some of the newer people to the paracording world, just in case they might be interested in getting into any of the Turksheads or the fancy globe knots or anything like that. I'm going to show what I call the Turkshead Bibles. They're actually the Turkshead cookbooks put out by Don Burris at nottool.com. Right now their site is down for some reason. They're not actually selling any of the items, the books or any of the tools at the moment, but I figured I could kind of enlighten a few people on that they are out there. There's a lot of good information and a lot of good knots in the books. The first one here is Volume 1, Turkshead Cookbook. It's got most of the just basic knots in it. It also it explains how to set everything up. It's got a complete diagram showing what knots can be made with the different bites and different leads. Shows how to set up the board that comes with it. This is the knot tool that comes with the cookbook. It's just a flat piece of plastic. It's got the different holes on top and bottom, and depending on how many bites you want the knot to have, there's a specific way to set up the different holes to have either 5, 6, 7, all the way up to like 20 different bites for the different knots. And also in the back of the book, let me see if I can get to it here. Oh, I'm kind of doing this from outside, it's a pretty nice day here. But here it shows you how to set up the board for different bites. There you go. And then it also shows you how to do the runs on the different knots. Here, going from 1 to 4. And then so forth, back and forth, up and down, and it shows you over which cord to go over or under the next cord, going through the progression all the way through the knot. Then you're able to go back and do a double run on it or whatever. But I choose to use the round mandrels. For me, it's a lot easier to keep track of everything. This is one that I've made. This is for an 8 bite in different, so I can do them in different sizes. It's just basically a piece of PVC pipe. Got it set up with 8 holes going around it for the different set screws. I've got my large one, and then this is my smaller one. This is the one I use mainly for doing knots around golf balls, anything like that. In the book, it shows you a lot of different setups, different sizes of Turksheads, all the way through. There's over 100 pages or so of just the basic Turkshead knots in this one. And then there's the Volume 2. It's one of our puppies. There's a Volume 2 here of the Turkshead, which gets into the more fancier excuse me, fancier knots, to have different outcomes, where it's not just a direct over and under on everything. Then also you've got the Globehead cookbook, the Globe Knot cookbook. which shows you how to do the different knots for round, square, oblong, just all different typts of shapes. Those come with special tools to do them. You've got the four-sided, let's see, this is the four sides, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then they're lettered A, B, C, D, and then E, F, G, H. There's 8 set screws in each row on this one for a total of 4, and then there's also one that's just 3. There's 1, 2, 3. That depends on which globe knot that you want to do as to which of the 2 mandrels that you might use. I've made my own. This is mine for the 4. Like I said, I do most of mine around golf balls, and the smaller one is just a little bit too hard to get the golf ball inside the knot once it's done. So I've made my own out of a 1 inch inside diameter PVC pipe, and then I've also made the one for the 3 in a bigger size. I plan on going up to the bigger size here also with the same ones, so that I'll have for all different types of objects. And it shows you in here, it's got pictures here on the front of different knots around objects, and then on the inside it has a diagram of that picture. See, like this one here would be this one here, and it tells you in there what knot that is and how many chords, or how many passes, and what size of cord on what size of object. I think there's like 3 different pictures like that. Yeah, here's another one. The side by side shows the objects here, and then what it is on the other side. There's 3 different ones of those. And doing the globe knots on these is you just run everything the same way you do as if you were doing it for a regular Turkshead knot. On this one, you might be going from here to here, and then from here back around up to the second one, and then down to the second one on the bottom here, and keep working it back and forth like that to work it around. But it shows you there's all the different knots. It shows you the pin setup in the book, and then it also has the run list on how to run your cords. And as you can see, it's got here, let's see if I can get this to focus. This is from F2 to C4. You go under the one cord you come across, and the next one you go over, and then over under. It shows exactly how to do it, and it has a diagram and everything of how everything is, and it shows you a basic diagram of what the pattern is going to look like up at the top. Like I said, these are something that I've tried to keep a hold of, because they're invaluable, especially if you're going to try to get into any of the more fancy knots, into whip making. They come in handy for lanyards, just about anything you can put some kind of a Turkshead knot on, or if you want to do the globe knots, you can put them on golf balls, 1-inch bearings, pool balls, just about anything you can think of. This is just to show some of the tools that are used in making some of the knots that I do. And these are, like I said, most of these I've made myself. It's just a lot easier that way. It is kind of hard to try to find the little set screws. You have to go to a hardware store and search, see if they have any. It just makes it a lot easier. But I hope this has helped out somebody. Once again, this is Bill, Just Knots Custom Paracords, and I'll see you later.